Okay, so we're gonna go over this raised dog bed. This is doing two things. This is the training wheels of how you get to sit stay, and then also for you, you're learning the words and the language of training, right? The words are very specific. So, now, place. She's actually not the best at place. We didn't spend that much time on it because we had to spend so much time outside on the reactivity stuff. Doesn't matter. Now, a command is a sandwich. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? The beginning is the action that you ask for. I ask for place. I ask it once. I don't like asking a command more than twice. If I'm gonna ask for it twice, I'm gonna ask it once and then wait a Mississippi and then ask it again. Anything more than that, either the dog doesn't understand, the dog doesn't care, and or the dog is just lazy with the command, right? And at that point, you need to kind of use action to get the dog to the command. Place. The place is an implied stay, at least the way I train it. So I don't need a stay. I don't need a wait. While the dog is on the bed, this is the stay, right? That's the point of the tool. That's the point of the place. Now, in between the beginning and end, you have the middle. In the middle, you're going to use your positive markers. You're going to use your negative markers. The positive markers, yes. The negative markers, no. Pretty straightforward. Now, here's the thing. When you're delivering positive, negative markers, they're not just words. They're words that require action behind them, right? At least in the beginning in the training process. And she's a relatively easy dog, even though the reactivity is a pain in the butt to deal with. The training part shouldn't be that difficult, so on your end, it's just reps. I'm not playing. I'm sorry. It's just reps, right? See, this is what happens. She gets bored. Now, sit. So I don't require a sit on the place bed, but when she gets antsy, I'll ask for the sit. Very simple. If she goes to step off of the bed, right, without you telling her to, that's where the negative marker comes in. That's no. And once the no happens, there needs to be pressure on the collar. And this pressure stays on until you put the dog back on the bed, right? Like right now, she's like, hey, what am I doing wrong? So I'll be mean for a second and walk her off the bed. Right, pressure, 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 back on the bed. And you would put that no right there too. No, pressure, back on the bed, pressure comes on. Very, very simple. We'll go over the yes a little bit more later in the training, not relevant to right this second. Now, once you ask for a command, you kind of have to test it a little bit. So you're gonna test it in different, she sees a squirrel right there. You're gonna test it in distance, duration, and position, right? How far away from you are from the dog, how long she's been on the bed, and if you're moving around a lot, or here's an example. You ask for a sit, you go to open the car door, the dog is used to just jumping in the car every time you open the door. No. The dog is used to just jumping in the car every time the car door is open, but if you ask for that sit should supersede jumping in the car. And that's kind of an example of position, right? Context matters in a command. So sometimes you have to show the dog that the command supersedes the context of the situation. Normally she does jump in the car, but this time I don't need you to. And again, distance matters. No. This is fundamentally how you train distractions. And she's a real, like this dog, she's real visual. She really hones in on stuff, you know, and your own body language can be distracting to the dog. So you have to train against your own body language, right? Normally, that's inviting the dog. That doesn't mean that I don't want her to do that in the future, and that doesn't mean that's not what that means, right? And if she comes to me when I do that, that doesn't mean she's ignoring the command. She just thinks that you doing that body language is more important than the command, right? And you just have to show her that this command I'm asking for, specifically a stay or walking nicely on the leash, is more important than, no, what are you doing? More important than the body language I'm giving you. That's why the words are important, because once you ask for the sit, ask for the recall, ask for the walk, give a yes, give a no, those words and those markers should be much more, should be much more important than every other indicator the dog gets. Now this is the ending to the command. This is very simple. You're gonna say break. No, break. That means the command is over. She can essentially do whatever she wants within 6 feet of me. All right. Command, yes, no markers, break. Now you're gonna see when we start drilling this, this is gonna apply to every single command. It's the same exact process. And because, so she does not care enough about treats, even a little bit, to do anything important. She just doesn't. So you don't have to worry about that. You're just gonna worry about leash pressure and the markers, and that's it. So you should be practicing about 10 minutes a day with a short walk and a long sit and a long stay and a stay where you're away from her. You should be doing that a couple of times a day, or for around 10 to 15 minutes a day, however you break that up. And because she's real like this, you're gonna have to be on her a little bit more, because her brain's working, and the more her brain does like this, the less she's thinking about you, which is important, especially if you're outside walking and that kind of stuff.